let's get into it.
I'm Beatrix. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm a political science major.
I'm Nina. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm a psych major.
I'm Laura. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I'm an environmental studies and anthropology major.
I'm Megan. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm a chemistry major.
I'm Courtney. I've lived here for 4 years. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm a sport tourism hospitality management major. We're the inaugural 5 freshmen of the Temple Elementary year, or trade program, and basically it's a program for freshmen to have their first year in Rome, and we basically just take, well, most of our classes are gen ed courses.
Okay, so first things first is before you come here, you have to take the test that they send you, the math assessment, the language assessment, the English assessment. Make sure that you don't just use your SAT scores or your ACT scores. Take them to see how you'll do, so that if you do well, you can test out of some classes, and then you can take like some more fun electives, or you can get more gen eds out of the way before you go back to main campus and have to take more intensive courses for your major. And also, even if you don't think you're going to do well, make sure you take your AP test, so that you never know what's going to happen and you might do really well. Classes in university are a bit different, obviously, than high school classes. A lot of the things you're just going to have to realize and work out for yourself, but with the course load, it's more work than a high school class, but I would say it's just because you don't have this class over an entire year, you have it for one semester, so it's very condensed and you're doing the work fast. But if you stay on top of it, you'll be totally fine, and you'll just keep studying and doing your work and you'll be totally fine. The biggest difference is that because you're not in class as much as high school, you just have a lot more responsibility. You need to have better time management skills. It's your responsibility to even learn some of the material and stay on top of what you have to do, because everything you do is going to be outside of class, because in class you're just getting a lecture. And to do the work, maybe you need to learn things on your own. So you just have to have really good time management skills and just kind of figure out that you are responsible for what you're doing.
So coming here, obviously the housing is different. You're not going to be in a dorm like you would be on main campus. You're not going to get a meal plan. Your 2 options are a homestay, where you live with an Italian family, or living in the residence. It's really interesting because you are just suddenly have to be independent. You suddenly have to either cook all your meals, or you have to go out to eat, even though going out to eat is kind of expensive. But it does give you an opportunity to go out and experience the markets, try new foods, and that kind of stuff.
And when you're going out, you just have to watch, because here you are, just like with school, you are responsible for yourself, so you really have to watch your budget and how you're spending. Even if you're not following a strict budget, you need to keep a careful eye on what you're spending and how much you're spending, so that you never end up with no food money or something. It's different here because of the exchange rate between euros and dollars. Currently dollars are less than euros. You have to realize that when you're looking at something and you're going to buy something and you're looking at the price, you have to know that in your bank account it's always going to be higher and it's going to be more expensive.
So a really big cultural difference between the United States and Italy is the decorum around drinking. It is legal here to drink when you're 18, however, it's very different. Drinking wine is very much integrated and part of the Italian culture. Italians will drink wine or beer with their meals, but they don't necessarily go out and get drunk.
They don't drink to get drunk, they drink because they like the taste, and it goes with their meal.
Coming to Rome, something that's been really hard for me, I know for a lot of my peers, is that I've been experiencing a lot of homesickness being here. I think that everybody goes through homesickness when they leave their home, when they move off to college, but it's going to be different, moving to a new country. The culture is completely different. You have to adjust to the culture of living in Rome, as well as adjust to the school and meeting new people, and leaving your family behind. And for me, I had a really strong support system back home, and leaving them all and coming here was just it was really hard to get used to. And for homesickness, that it comes and goes. It kind of comes in waves for us, but when that happens, for me, I just have found that it's best to try and push through the homesickness and to go out and experience life in Rome and to have this like great experience, because you have this opportunity here in Italy that not a lot of people get their freshman year, and it's really special, and it is all worth it. It's just at times can be very hard when, you know, nobody's awake back in the US. When you're awake, you know, when you wake up here and go to class, it's the same time as everybody's asleep back in the US, and so that makes it hard to talk to people, and it can be lonely, but also
it's important to know that it's okay to be homesick though. Like, this is a new place and it's a new experience, and it's okay to miss home. Like, home is where you're most comfortable, but you just have to find ways to get through that and find people around here that are going through the same things. It does also help to talk about it.
So especially when you're feeling low, like, go experience the culture, remember why you're here in the first place. Like, that helps a lot.
Pro tip!
I wish that I had not brought so much stuff when I came here. I should have just left stuff at home and bought it. Only bring things that are special to you and you know you need them, or they're too expensive to rebuy them.
Okay. So I wish that I studied Italian more and like had a basic understanding of it, because I was really confused when I first got here. I also wish that I was prepared for the god-awful rain that happens during the winter.
It's always pro tip.
Okay, I wish that I had known that as a freshman there's an option to do a homestay as well as living in the residence. I just think it's important to like know all the options before you get into it, because maybe you would rather do a homestay rather than live in the residence, and that's really up to you when you're researching the program. You know, look into that, look into both options, and you know which one is the best for you. Also, I wish I had brought cleats for Calcetto night, because I've fallen a lot in that. So yeah. Okay. Laura, pro tip.
I wish that I had known how much money I was going to spend, because living here is expensive. It's more expensive than the US, and if you're going out to eat all the time, you want to travel, it's a lot of money. Pro tip.
I wish I knew more about the course load, because I did a lot of homework, especially for English, so it's very good at the beginning. Make sure you take your English exams.
I've lived here in Rome for 4 years already. Because of this, I'm already pretty fluent in Italian, so I'm in a higher level Italian class. However, there are also beginning level Italian classes. You can learn Italian in school and learn more and also practice around Rome and throughout Italy. If you already know another Romance language, like Spanish or French, then it will be easier to learn Italian. But either way, Italian is not that hard, and it is a great language to learn and culture to learn about. Today I will be talking about the activities offered at Temple Rome. There are many activities, and some of them were basketball, calcetto night, theater night, cooking classes, burrito day, hummus day, a wine tasting event, a what is love meeting, etc. Wednesday night. Theater night was an evening we went to see a live show, and that show was Giudizio Universale. In the cooking classes, you learn how to make a fresh pasta and dessert. Burrito day was just a day when we could have burritos from Meibu. Hummus day was a similar day, but with hummus from Hummus Town instead of burritos. The What is Love meeting was a meeting about healthy relationships and sexual violence. These were just a few of the activities offered at Temple Rome, but you can also make your own activities. Figure out other stuff to do and get a group of friends together to do it.
I also want to discuss the other amazing opportunities that you get when you come to study abroad at Temple Rome. And there's amazing opportunities just being able to come and study in Temple Rome. But another amazing opportunity that I was able to be a part of is the work study program. And thanks to Francesca and Ms. Morelli, I was able to be placed in a work study in the library. And the library is a really cool place for many reasons, but it was a really cool opportunity for me to make some extra cash, meet new people, and it just kind of like forced me to be able to study, because while you're working at the library, you can also simultaneously study and get a lot of things done for your other classes. So when you're not working and when you're not in class, you're able to spend your free time doing things that you want to do. rather than focusing entirely on school, because although it is really good to focus yourself on school and make sure that you're doing the best that you can in all of your classes, it's also really important to go out and see all of the sites that you can see and really use your time here. It's good to focus on school, but it's an amazing opportunity to be here. You want to go see the ruins, you want to go see every part of ancient Rome that you can, and all the sites and all the artwork. That's a big part of being here. So you want to make sure that you set aside time for yourself to do that as well. So doing a work study helps make sure that you get all of your work done and have more time to go and do all the things that you want to do. So this is what the TU library looks like. It's a really cool place to go and study. It's a really cool place to go and just hang out. It's a really quiet place. It's really nice. And if you ever need help finding any books, the librarians are there to assist you in any possible way that they can. And the Academic Support Center is also located in the library annex, which is a really cool place in the back of the library, just in case you ever need help with your schoolwork or any formal type of writing. So it's a really cool place to be, and it is also the largest English library in Rome. So that is also a really cool thing about our university. Yeah. Another thing to note about Temple Rome is their amazing mental health support system. And I know for myself, I was having a lot of trouble dealing with things and maintaining a healthy mentality. So I was able to go and utilize all of the tools that they have to offer, which is an amazing psychologist on TU campus. And her name is Laura Di Giunta. She's really helpful, and if anything, she can always help you set up an appointment with another therapist that is covered by the ISOS insurance that Temple provides when you come here, as well as other psychologists that you may need, or psychiatrists, or anything that you need regarding your mental health, because it is very important to take care of yourself while you're out here. So it's important, if you ever feel like you need help, they provide the help for you that you need. If you ever feel as though you need help, they definitely will be able to provide the help that you need, the support that you need. And don't be afraid to ask, because they will help you in the best way that they can. And they never get too invasive when you need help. You just have to let them know, hey, I need help. And they will definitely provide for you. They will definitely come through. And it's really amazing just to know that even if you don't necessarily need it while you're out here, it's just good to know that you have it, because maintaining your mentality is so important, especially when you're so far away from home.
There are two housing options, and they are a homestay and the residence. The residence has a courtyard, a roof, and apartments. Our apartments, the freshman apartments, each have a bedroom with 2 beds, a bathroom, a living room and dining room, which are combined into one room, and a kitchenette, which is a small kitchen.
So I am one of the 5 that is staying in a homestay. You are in an Italian home with an Italian family. I am only with one other person, Ariana. Her 2 sons are in college, so it's just the 2 of us. It costs the same as living in the residence, and you will most likely have your own room. They feed you dinner Monday through Thursday, so that's really nice. Another perk of living in a homestay is that you have your own washer, so you won't have to pay to wash your clothes. So living in a homestay, you do have more space than being in the residence. In my house, we have a full separate living room, and I have my own room, which is pretty big, and there's a separate office, and there is a full kitchen with another dining area. So if you don't think that you could get used to living in the smaller apartments at the residence, a homestay might be a good choice. if you are very serious about learning Italian when you come over here, I think that homestay is a very good choice because it's what you're speaking at home and you get used to it much faster and you understand a lot faster being in a homestay. So the way I communicate with Ariana, it's kind of become this little back and forth game where she understands a little bit of English, so I'll kind of say it to her in English really simply and like mix in a few Italian words that I know. And then once she understands, she repeats it back to me in Italian, and then I repeat it to her in Italian so that I can learn, so I can try to remember some of the words and I can really learn the pronunciation. I think that for incoming freshmen, it's probably a better choice because you still have this independence of coming to college and living on your own, but you have somebody here to help you if something goes wrong or you just need to do something. Have somebody like even closer that's not at the school to guide you for some more mundane things, and I think that's really nice because I mean, it's a big transition to go to college, but then also you're over here in another country where you probably don't speak the language, maybe you do. And I think that also being in somebody's home, it's a little bit more comforting. And I love being here, I love my homestay. So my experience in homestay has been so nice. I love Ariana. I can't imagine being here without her. She's supported me so much and she's just so precious to me. I'm so happy that I'm here with her and I'm so happy. My experience has been so amazing and everyone else that I've talked to has had amazing homestay experience. They love the people that they're staying with, and I think that it provides a much clearer and better perspective on the Italian culture and being here. And I think that if you want a much fuller experience and you really want to learn Italian and the culture, then I think you should definitely do a homestay.
One of the benefits of living in a city like Rome is the extensive public transportation system. Rome has 2.5 metro lines and over 350 bus lines, as well as a tram. This makes it easy to explore Rome and see different neighborhoods. The Temple of Rome campus is about 2.5 kilometers away from Residence Candia. This can be a nice walk, but there are also numerous ways to get to school using the public transportation. Both bus 490 and 495 go right to Temple. The stop is less than a block from the residence and a block from the school. When the buses decide not to come, which can be an issue since Rome is such a crowded city, you can take the metro from stop Cipro, a 4-minute walk from the residence, to stop Flaminio, which is about a 7-minute walk from Temple, Rome. Many students get a monthly pass that gets access to all of the public transportation in the city for €35 a month. I love being able to use the public transportation. It makes going out to familiarize myself with the city and enjoying all Rome has to offer very quick and easy.
The Temple residence is in the neighborhood of Prati. This is a residential neighborhood of Rome to the north of Vatican City. In Prati, there's an awesome market called the Mercato Trionfale, close to the residence. This is a bakery I really like, a few blocks from the residence, and I'm here today getting a panino for lunch. It's very typical for Italians to buy groceries at the fresh markets and bakeries, so this is where I prefer to go to. Here's the residence building, and right beyond those walls is Vatican City. St. Peter's Basilica is just a short walk away from home. The temple building where we attend classes is in the neighborhood of Flaminio, across the river from Prati. Here in Flaminio, there's a lot of cheap places to eat, and many of them have student deals. Flambar is a good place to get coffee or meet up with friends to study. When the weather is good, I spent a lot of time studying in a park nearby called the Villa Borghese Gardens. This is a public park with lots of green space as well as many museums. Walk just south of school and you will enter the historical center of Rome. There's the Spanish Steps, Trevi Fountain, Pantheon, Piazza Navona, etc., etc. Even though I don't usually seek out these places, I end up stumbling upon pieces of ancient Rome when I head out into the more central parts of the city. And here's a nice view of Rome from the Musei Capitolini. Trastevere is a neighborhood with narrow streets, lots of restaurants and shops. A lot of students like to go out here at night. It's a fun place to get dinner, about a 30-minute walk from the residence. Megan and I got tacos today at this place called Pico's, which was tight because it's hard to find good Mexican food in Rome. There's a really nice walk up the Passeggiata del Gianicolo with amazing views of the city I take when I want to sit and relax with a book. In the southern part of Rome, there are the neighborhoods of Testaccio and Ostiense. These can be a bit of a trek from school and the residence, but I really like this area for its nightlife and atmosphere. Today I went to check out the Mercato Testaccio for lunch and explored all the street food options. I ended up getting this panino from the stall Morty and Vi. Testaccio and Ostiense are parts of Rome that feel fresher and offer a good break from the more historical parts of the city.
Here in Rome, living in a city, if you've never lived in a city before, it can be a little bit overwhelming because there's so much to do and you need to be going out at this and seeing all these amazing things and really taking advantage of your experience here. So I just want to tell you guys some ways that you can figure out, just some like easy ways to figure out what there is to do. They have these little like pamphlet books and they have them at school and they're really nice. They like break it up between like food and drinking and then like art galleries and live music and all the things you can do. And then on the back it has the operas for each month and the ballets. You can get these right in the front of the library. They're right by Palma's desk, which is the desk like that's immediately to the right when you walk in. If you go to the mailboxes, they're on the lowest shelf. There is just a big shelf and it has these and it sometimes has travel magazines and little flyers for things to do. I found out about my cultural event, which is an assignment you'll do in seminar, from signs on like lampposts, and there are lots of like little billboards with signs and posters. Something that you'll be getting when you're here are emails from the Temple Rome account about events. So don't delete them when you get them, always read them. You'll be surprised, you'll find something really fun to do. If a certain museum's admission is too high, you can wait until the first Sunday of the month when all museums are free. For a lot of the big, like main touristy things like the Sistine Chapel or going to the Colosseum, it may be best to wait until November through March, as hopefully there'll be less people. My favorite museum that I've been to is the Palazzo Barberini, which is an old Renaissance house for a very affluent family, the Barberinis, in Rome. It was so beautiful. They had amazing art in it, but then just the frescoes and the building itself were amazing.
Sit at home and do the screenplay and shape it and make a deliberate contrast and emphasize the quiet of this and the noise of that, for example. It's not just illustrating, it's really adapting your skills as composer and arranger.
Today I am at a cafe called X Circus to do my homework. Located on a little side street near Piazza Navona, this is one of my favorite places to go because it is not usually very crowded and has really good food. They even have bagel sandwiches and smoothies, which are really hard to find in Rome. Also, sometimes there is a dog there that is free to pet. I have found that I have trouble concentrating on homework in my apartment because there are so many distractions, so going out increases my productivity and motivates me to get work done. Other places I often use for studying are the expansive architecture room and the library at Temple's campus, another cafe called Barnum, the roof of the residence, and the Borghese Gardens. Each place is a good opportunity to get out of my apartment and see the city, as well as be in the presence of other students. Something in common with everyone who studies abroad is a love of traveling. Being in Europe, traveling country to country is pretty quick, easy, and cheap. Many students here will take weekend trips to places like Paris, Munich, and Brussels. Studying abroad provides unique opportunities such as being able to Christmas shop at the Vienna Christmas markets like I did. Italy is a beautiful country and a place I have loved exploring. Bologna, Naples, and Florence, among others, are easy day trips from Rome. Rome itself provides so many activities and things to see that it is not necessary to travel every weekend. It is important to explore the city you're living in to fully appreciate the opportunity to live here.
Come to Rome! As Frank would say, the end.